Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About It with your girl, the DiDi Skky, DiDi Skky. Now we can have a round of applause. So glad. Yes. So glad that you guys are with us tonight. We have a fire show prepared for you. So listen, you know, of course, before I get the party started, I need to know who's in the building with me. So let's give some shots out. Okay, Levi Q is in the building. What's up, Levi? Bria is here. Hey, Bria, how are you? So glad that you are here. Yours truly, my girl, April. One of my tops, my favorites, girl. I love you. Karen is in the building. Dr. Tiffany, hey, girl. It was so good to see you during 4th of July. Pritchett is here, my girl, my mainstay, my big supporter. Rachel is in the building. Hey, Deborah, good to see you all. Listen, I'm so glad that you're here with me tonight. Of course, as you can see, I'm in a hotel. It's not my fault. This paper, so I am in a hotel. I am actually in Virginia. I'll tell you where I am right now. I'm in Virginia. I'm taking care of some business. So I am here, but you are there and you're here with me as well for tonight's show. This is episode 6. It's going down because we have one of the funniest women in comedy, a top actress in the building with us tonight. She is one funny mama, and I am absolutely honored to have her on the show. We have no other than CoCoa Brown in the building. So, oh my gosh, y'all, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm so super excited to have her with us tonight. But before I get the party started, before we get into this exclusive interview, I need for you to like, share, and subscribe. That's right. Like, share, and subscribe. If you are watching on Facebook or Instagram Live, we are streaming on Instagram, and I say that every time. We are streaming there. If you are watching on any of those platforms, unless you have a second device, don't go over right now because we don't want you to miss any of tonight's show. After the show, go on over and subscribe. I'm telling you this because my producer, TJ, Too Short, says that this is going to be it. Like, we're going to wean off of all of these other platforms because we want everyone to be subscribers of our YouTube channel. So I don't want y'all to miss an episode. I don't want y'all to miss a bonus. I don't want y'all to miss a giveaway. So go over and like, share, and subscribe to that YouTube channel. If you are watching on Facebook, okay, I want you to share this live. Go ahead, share it. Tell your family, tell your friends to log on in, tune in, and turn up with your girl DiDi Skky tonight and CoCoa Brown. And it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. Who else is here? Hey, Leah, how are you? So glad that you are here. Alessandra, is it Alessandra Wilson? I think that's you. Hi, how are you? Benny is in the building. Again, I love to give shout outs, so be sure to let me know that you are here with me tonight. And of course, tonight's show is brought to you by Whisk by Gino.
Discover your new addiction with Whisk by Gino. Luxury makeup brushes by celebrity makeup artist Gino Freeman. This line of pristine makeup wands are tried and tested for a perfect blend. Engineered with a unique combination of natural and synthetic fibers to create an ultimate set of brushes that are soft to touch and durable for all application processes. The order includes a set of 10 brushes and a leather traveling case. To make a purchase, visit whiskbygeno.com. That's WHISKEDBYGENO.com. Add luxury to your makeup kit with Whisk by Gino.
That's right. Hi, Gino. Shout out to Gino, the artist, makeup artist extraordinaire. Be sure to pick up your Whisk by Gino makeup brushes. All right. Are you all ready? I hope you are, because I am. Let me say this. I have to preference how I met this magnificent, spectacular, amazing woman. I was actually in Atlanta at the Trilith Studios. They have, it's like a live, work, play area. They have food and shops and restaurants, but it's also a major studio. And I was having dinner with, of course, Whisked by Gino Freeman, the celebrity makeup artist. I was having dinner with him, and we were walking out of one of my favorite restaurants. And we walked past CoCoa Brown. And I saw her, and I said, I love your work. That's what I said. I love you. I love your work. And that's typically if I meet an entertainer, a celebrity, an artist, or someone that I have not interviewed in my radio, times on air and radio or in TV prior, I just always love to let them know that I love them. But I don't like to barge, to interrupt, because I know they are just out and they just want to be, regular people. But I had to tell her that I loved her. And then she stopped and was like, oh, thank you. And we started talking. And I told her about the show, and I invited her to come on. And she said, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. And she did. And she kept her word. Your word in this industry is your bond. And she kept her word. So I am beyond honored, because I watch her on my favorite show, 911. That is one of my favorite shows with Angela Bassett. You also know her from Tyler Perry's The Single Moms Club. And you, of course, also know her from stand-up comedy. So please welcome to our show, our guest tonight, CoCoa Brown.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm in straight mommy mode, but you know what? Hey, it is what it is.
Oh my goodness. I'm just glad that you are here. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, for taking time out of your schedule, to be here with me. I'm absolutely honored. As I said in the intro, I'm absolutely honored.
Thank you for having me.
Well, can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Oh, I can hear you fine. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's hop on into this interview. You are from Virginia, correct?
Yeah. Newport News.
And that's where I'm right.
Oh, you are? Okay, you're in Richmond. Okay, that's where I went to school.
I'm here in Richmond, Virginia. You received your degree at Virginia Commonwealth, VCU?
Yep, which is in Richmond. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm a Ram.
Yeah. What was your major?
Mass communications with a focus in PR and advertising.
Look at how parallel a lot. Wow, that is amazing. My degree, of course, was in mass communications with the minor in PR. Same exact thing. Wow, how crazy is that? And the funny part about how parallel our lives are and how we've crossed paths, definitely. I DJ'd for 99 Jams in Miami alongside Marvin Dixon, comedian.
Oh, wow. That's family. That's family right there.
And Marvin is my boy, my homeboy. Like literally,
right.
Came up in the industry together. And so I was there with Marvin. And so I know you've been on that circuit, and I've seen you so many times. And just like I said, to have that opportunity to meet you in person. Now, let me ask you this. Were you funny as a child growing up?
I got popped in the mouth a lot because I spoke my mind, and a lot of times, it was not a child's place. But if you let my friends tell it that I grew up with, from elementary all the way through college, when I told them I was venturing into stand-up comedy, nobody was surprised but my mother.
Really?
Yeah, nobody was surprised. Everybody's like, okay, I can see that. My mother was like, huh? But
so you were a mass communications major. What were your thoughts in that major? Were you thinking on-air broadcasting, behind the scenes? What were you thinking? I went
initially to be a newscaster because I had taken this program that was like one of those extracurricular after school, extra credit programs that was in broadcast journalism in high school. And so everybody assumed I was going to be like the next Oprah or something, you know what I'm saying? Because I was hosting all the basketball games, football games, commentating those. And then I was also doing all the announcements, blah, blah, blah. And then when I got to school and realized that do I want to be in front of the camera, which is hilarious because now I do what I do. I
Right.
decided to go in PR and advertising because I was very interested in what goes on behind the scenes. You know, how do you make someone famous? How do you, advertise and make someone want to buy something? So that caught my attention. And then, I was trying to double a major as pre-law too, because I don't know what I was thinking. And then I was minoring in theater. It was just, I was overly ambitious.
Pre-law
Overly
communication.
ambitious to say the
Oh
least.
my goodness.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow. And then what was the turning point in your life that said, okay, it's actually going to be comedy. I want to do stand-up comedy.
I had graduated college. I was working a corporate job. I was actually working for Ringling Brothers. I was working for their corporate offices in Northern Virginia in their advertising department. And a friend of mine invited me to a barbecue. And next thing I know, they literally, he invited me to a barbecue. Come to find out it was the home of Chris Paul, who was on the Time Joyner Morning Show forever. But at the time, he was on the Donnie Simpson Morning Show. And him and his business partner owned a comedy club. And I was just being me. And his business partner was like, you ever thought about doing stand-up? And I'm like, no. He said, you should come down to open mic. And because I'm minoring in theater, I wasn't scared of a stage. So I thought, I done seen Def Jam. Okay, I can do it. Ha! So went and tried my hand at it. And let's just say that the audience kind of stared at me because I was trying to be a comic. And so when I realized I was getting no laughs, I panicked and I just said, look here, I don't need this job. I work for the circus. And the crowd busted out laughing. And I said, oh, no, I ain't no clown or nothing. And it was so funny. And that like 5 minutes set, my mentor, my mentor, being my mentor till God bless him the day he died in 2020, he saw me that night and he took me aside. He goes, I would love to work with you. And Fat Doctor, his name was the Fat Doctor. He's like the godfather of comedy in DC. He had worked with Martin Lawrence and Tommy Davidson, Tony was like, everybody had gone through Fat Doctor. Like he was like almost like a rite of passage, if you call a comedian from the DMV. And he pulled me aside and he goes, you learned something tonight that takes most comics 10 years to learn. And I said, what's that? He said, what's real is what's funny. He said, when you're real, you got funny. And he goes, I would love to work with you. And the rest is history.
What's real is what's funny. That is a bomb. I never even thought about that, but it is so true. That is so very true. Almost like Kevin Hart says, laugh at my pain, which is terrible.
Right.
What's funny, because you said you were trying to be a what?
I was trying to be funny, calling myself writing some jokes, and they were staring at me like I had 3 heads. And then the minute I said, look, I don't need this. I don't need to be doing this, honey. I got a real job. I work for the circus. And the audience just busted out laughing.
Wow.
I didn't realize, but Fat Doctor taught me everything about stand-up, deliveries and setups, and punchlines and bait and switches. And he told me a very simple formula called simplification times exaggeration equals funny. And I still write with that equation in mind.
Wow. Oh my, come on, school us now. Teachers. I'm just sitting here because I interviewed Gary Owen.
Okay, crazy Gary.
I interviewed all crazy as Gary, and I told him, I said, my family say I'm funny. Like, what advice would you give me if I decide to go into comedy? He said, don't do it. And he was like, damn,
comedy, the comedy that the stand-up comedy world that Gary and I came up in is so far, it's so far removed from that now. Like when young comics come to me and say, CoCoa, what can I do to make it? I'm like, well, be real present on social media, get 1 million followers, they'll come for you.
Come on, you better.
It ain't got nothing to do with funny.
You're right.
Funny. If you're funny on top of the 1 million followers, then you're winning. But we just put a whole lot of unfunny people with 1 million followers in front of us. So, I mean, honestly, it's like, I used to give them this whole spiel about getting the clubs, work your craft, learn the craft, get a mentor. Now I just say, honey, just build your presence on social media, get 1 million followers, and they'll come for you.
You know what, Coach? It's sad is that, and again, being a media veteran, we go through the same. I think it's the same challenges across the board in the industry. As a veteran radio and TV personality in my craft, hone my craft through education and experience, all of that stuff. But you're right. They absolutely will, if you're funny on social media. However,
Yeah.
if you're not funny in person, you cannot do the same things that the veterans like yourself or those who really had to stand 10 toes down on a stage and make people laugh.
Now, here's the double-edged sword of that.
Okay.
I came up in an era that audiences were well versed in stand-up. They understood what it looked like, what it sounded like. They knew when you were faking. They knew when you were garbage. And it did not matter how many credits you had or who you were. If you were not true to the game, they smelt it and they immediately canceled you, as the young people like to say.
That's right.
We are now in an age that these new audiences are not trained. We came up with Def Jam. We came up with Comic View.
Right.
We came up with Apollo. We was trained. Our audience was trained. So we had to be funny. Now they just have to have the numbers and the followers. And you'll have people go and spend $100 to go see somebody who just makes them chuckle a little bit for 30, 45 minutes and then stand in a line for $100 picture on their phone.
Right.
That's where we at now.
That's
so funny. Was that a gunshot?
That was like a boom boom.
Fix it. But no, that's where we are now. It's like the audiences now. And the only time you see those audiences of yesteryear is when you see people our age, or and the people who grew up in that era that still appreciate true stand-up. This new era, they think true stand-up is 2 minutes on Instagram.
Right.
And they're just so excited to get a selfie with somebody. They don't realize they just had their life wasted for 45 minutes.
You are so very right. And because I have dear friends who are real, I don't hate to say real comics, but veteran, I'm just gonna say veteran comics, veteran comedians, improv, the Improv Comedy Club in Coconut Grove in Miami at home. Like that's where
Marvin's was legendary back in the day.
Legendary. That's where I spent a lot.
But that's another thing too. Back in the day, we had clubs that were rites of passage.
Exactly.
And Marvin's Club in Miami was one of them.
Exactly.
And I could name a few more that were right. And you could not even begin to call yourself a comedian unless you survived one of them rooms.
That's right. And it was
they ain't got that no more. You got cats skipping all over that and going from Instagram to arenas. We had to go through rites of passage. Like we were hazed, honey. We were pledged.
You were hazed. Yes, you were. You were hazed.
They go straight from showing up to wearing letters.
That's right. That's right.
No pledging.
That's no alternative analogy you just gave.
No, it's no pledging anymore.
Now they just wearing they just
they just wearing paraphernalia, honey. And they ain't saying they don't know that. They don't know their Greek alphabet or nothing.
Nothing. And okay. So honestly, is that a yin or a yang? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because it is the sign of the times and kind of where these generations are going. Are veterans like yourself trying to, pick these new age comedians up to show them the way? Or are they
don't want our help. They don't want our help.
They don't really. They sure not. I'm not.
They do not want our help. We're old heads, honey. We're old heads. We're haters.
They're not making us laugh.
We try to give them some advice and tell them like, baby, maybe you should work on your craft. I don't need to. You just hating. Oh, okay. Sorry. So I mean, I can probably put in one hand the youngsters that come to the OGs, the vets, and are like, teach me teach me great master Obi-Wan. And a lot of us do. The ones I take new comics on the road with me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell them this is a rite of passage. Right. You work with me for a year. You learn the game. You learn this. Mm-hmm. And then I'm kicking you out of the nest. Go fly on your own.
Go.
That's why I alternate. But you know what? Every last one I've done that with has gone on to do great things.
Great things. And because that's what I was
actually
in terms of longevity in the industry. Does it still go back to, like you said, honing your craft, doing those things? Because I honestly and truly, I believe that there's going to be just a high turnover in everything. Like you're going to have followers, but if you can't authentically stand in front of a camera and speak when there is no script, or stand in front of a crowd and give comedy and do your thing in front of a crowd, you're going to get booed. Eventually it's going to show up.
Okay, this is how it's happened. So basically what I've seen happen is that the social media content creator comedians were getting weekends because they could sell them out.
Gotcha.
And this is conversations I've had with GMs and managers and owners of clubs. They were getting weekends because they could sell out. They were adding shows,
Right.
But once the audience realized, oh, they only funny on social media,
right,
word got out. So when they would come back to do another weekend, wasn't so much. So if you've noticed, a lot of them just do one night.
That's right, CoCoa.
But they bring in the OGs to do a weekend because they know we got 45 minutes to an hour of solid material to keep the audience engaged and make them want to come back. Now, will it change? Well, probably not. We're stuck with social media, and I'm not hating. Please know I'm not hating, because it's the evolution of the game. Hell, even I'm doing Country Wayne skits now. And a couple of years ago, I was swore I ain't doing no skits. I'm a classically trained actress, and I'm in there all that Meisner technique in Country Wayne. So
you're right, exactly,
because it is what it is. But I think that a lot of the OGs that we came up in the game where we had to be true comedians. We couldn't just get on stage and bull crap with our audience. We had to show them. We had to prove ourselves, and it meant nothing about numbers or anything like that. Yes, they wanted ticket sales, but we come from an era that we promoted, and we got on TV, and that was our promotion.
That's right.
You said you had been on Def Jam, Comic View, Showtime at the Apollo. If you had been on this TV show, that TV show, that was all you needed to get your crowds to pack out. But now that we have social media and the whole game is shifted, that if you're not popular on social media, it doesn't matter how long you've been doing it, you've got to be popular on social media too. It's just something that a lot of us have just had to adjust to remain relevant during this new era of comedy.
Exactly.
But the good thing is we always say we're triple threats.
Right.
Because we're OGs, therefore that with or without social media, we gonna work.
That's right.
And two, we got a set. We can go on stage and give you an hour of fire that you're walking out like Jesus Christ. Like people walk out of my audiences and they're like,
I can't even breathe no more.
And people are like, stop, give us a second.
Right, exactly.
And then three, I understand the business, sugar.
Right.
I understand the business. So I won't turn up where you see me driving all my money.
That's
wearing all my money, flaunting all my money. I know how to invest because I know the business can be very fickle. Where some of us were out here on struggle boost during the pandemic, baby, I never missed a beat.
Come on. Yes.
So it's like, because I understood the business, but it just applies, it just, you just have to adjust and evolve. The business adjusts and evolves all the time. And this is just another evolution.
That's right. You being able to pivot. You have to be able to pivot. Exactly. Levi Q says, what was your biggest challenge in the industry and how did you apply perseverance?
I would say probably my biggest challenge in the business is to get them to recognize I'm CoCoa Brown. Stop comparing me.
Oh, to who?
Oh, God, girl. When I first got in the business, honey, oh, you're a baby Monique. Oh, you're a baby this, baby that. I overcame that. And I knew I'd overcame that when people were coming to me going, girl, I just saw this chick on stage the other night. She reminded me of you. Oh, okay. So I've now evolved that people are trying to be me. And then just trying to get them to understand that, I'm just not your fat, funny sidekick. Like for me, I've lost a considerable amount of weight and my team was freaked out because I had been always so pitched as being the fat, funny sidekick that they were like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Like, we're going to have to change your whole trajectory here on how we pitch you.
Wow.
And then I started getting the roles of principal and mom and aunt and
Mhm.
even grandma, you know what I'm saying? And trying to get Hollywood to not put me in a box and understand that I am a classically trained actress. I do know what I'm doing. I can do comedy and drama. I can do single cam, multicam. I can do theater. I can do, skits. I can adjust to whatever environment you put me in because I'm an actress.
That's right.
So just trying to get, that's been the biggest challenge. But I feel it's shifting in a sense. My running joke right now is I'm getting all the Loretta Devine roles that she turns down.
Oh
I
God.
get all the Jennifer Lewis roles that she turns down now. So
Wow.
that's the thing now. But yeah, that was probably my
Oh.
biggest challenge.
Well, shouts out to my mom Bessie is in the house. My niece, grandniece BJ is in the building. Shouts out to you. Shouts out to Huggy Bear in the building. So you mentioned, of course, you are a multi-hyphenate entertainer. How did you then transition? What was then the turning point for you to say, okay, I've done stand-up comedy and I'm doing really well at that. Now it's my chance and my time to try acting?
Well, I mean, okay, truth be told, I've been acting since I was 10 years old. I did my first play, musical theater, when I was 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing theater since I was 10 years old. And that was all through elementary, middle, high school, college. Never thought it would be what would be making my money because I was raised very traditionally Southern in
Right.
a sense that, we're talking Jack and Jill and the whole nine. So I was supposed to find me a nice, good man, get married, have some babies, get a good little.
We were supposed to do that, girl.
I wasn't
Yeah.
supposed to be out here pursuing no dreams.
I am playing in these streets, child. We supposed to
But
get
I was always a renegade. I was always an outlaw, no matter what, whatever my parents said do, I was like, I would do the opposite. But honestly, um, what did for me in 2003, I decided to pack up everything and go to LA because I came from an era as a stand-up comedy, there was levels. So once you become a strong comic, you were supposed to go to New York or LA and try to get your butt on TV.
That's right.
So I chose LA
And
because
you
I said I've
did
done
it.
the East Coast and and I gotten really trained. Like I always say, honey, I got raised by wolves in the trenches in New York and stand up. You ain't funny till you make them fools laugh. And so that's real talk. That's the trenches. That's the
Right.
trenches. Then I went to LA and I just started, pitching myself, got an agent, got a manager, blah, 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 blah. And for me, I still took classes because I knew, yes, I've been acting, but I've been doing theater. And I know TV and film and commercials are so different. And
Right.
so I was taking classes, still honing my craft while I was out there auditioning and, trying to get on. So it wasn't a hard transition for me. It was more of a bigger, hard transition for my mother because I was moving 3,000 miles away from home and I didn't have a husband. So she was like, what do you mean you going to California? So,
Right.
but it was kind of an easy transition. And plus two, I wanted it for different reasons.
Okay.
It was kind of like a proving it to myself that this little girl from Newport News can go to Hollywood and make a name for herself.
Yes.
And I didn't even know what that looked like in a sense,
Right.
but I knew I wasn't gonna sell my soul for it. I knew that much. But
So
it
how
was
did you stay home? Because that, and you, I mean, trust me, you are preaching to the choir because that was absolutely, the
right.
trajectory. If you wanted to be in the entertainment industry, it was LA, it was New York, those were the places. Miami, we were kind of coming along, but you really had to, it was Chicago, especially, the TV and radio industry. And man, to make that step and say, okay, I'm about to just put it all out there. I'm about to, put all of my my talents, my skill sets, my know-how. I'm about to just move to LA and give this thing a try. Did you give yourself a time frame, or was it like, I'm not going home until I make it?
No, I didn't give myself a time frame. I ended up moving back to the East Coast 12 years later, because I needed to heal from a really bad divorce. And then I looked at it like this too. God knew I was going to end up having to take care of my parents in a couple of years, and I could not have done that from LA.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because I had no intentions of leaving. I thought I was just temporarily going to come to Atlanta. I had bought some property. I was just going to get my head together, go back. And then my parents got sick and it wasn't an option. And then, my child's gotten older. This is home to him. This is all he knows. He's been here since he was 2. So it's home now.
So when you moved to LA though, did you find open doors, especially with you having the talent, with you having connections?
I had a village. I had a village when I got out there, thank God, because it was the comedy circuit.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was the comedy circuit. It was my comedy family. So I did have a village out there amongst comedians. And then I began to meet other actors, and I've created that village. So, and I've always been the kind of person that, I just can go out and meet people. But I did have a village of comedians that I had already bonded with on the road, that when I got out there, I wasn't alone.
Right, right. So, of course, Cat Williams, appearance on Club Shay Shay.
Right.
Did that help or hurt Black comedy?
Nothing to me. I was just happy my name went in his mouth. Ooh, child, that was the one time I was so happy that my name was not in the room. Praise Jesus, won't he do it?
Don't mention my name.
But girl,
well, you were somewhere hot, like, oh Lord.
Baby, let me tell you something, hunty. I was so happy. But did it help or hurt? God, a lot of people felt it hurt, but at the same token, it really put a spotlight on some comedians who have been forgotten. It put their names back in it. It put their names back in the mix.
Didn't think about
it became a running joke of, is he gonna name you next? It did put a spotlight back on Black comedy and what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Some felt no one should have ever known our business, and some felt like, it helped give us a reemergence. I'm pretty neutral. I'm pretty neutral about it. Because like I said, my name didn't come out of his mouth. So I was marked safe. I was marked safe.
Williams. Okay. When Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, did that change your material? Did material that made you then say, let me make sure I'm not stepping on anybody's toes?
No. The only people I worry about, because they've already tried to cancel me once, is the alphabet people. So I don't talk about them. They tried to cancel me once.
Oh gosh. No.
I stay clear of the alphabet.
But, you stay clear of the alphabet people.
Other than that, no, I wasn't worried, because first of all, people was like, oh, this is going to make people think they can step to comics and come on stage. Please do not get it twisted. A lot of us come from very dysfunctional families and upbringings. We are unhinged as hell. You might not want to run up on your average comedian, because trust me, we are one step away from an insane asylum. I would suggest not.
Don't try it.
Dude, we most of us, honey, ain't wrapped too tight. That's why we can make you laugh.
So you like this.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't.
Like Della Reese said on what was that? Harlem Nights. You come up here, you walk over here, but you gonna limp back. You walk
over, you're gonna limp back. You're gonna limp. I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm sorry. This beauty is giving me a fit. There we go.
Okay, you good, girl. So Donna says, old school comic audiences knew if they sat in the front row, they were going to get roasted, which is like freestyling to a rapper. What do you think about that? Like, the comics and comedians that, stand and actually roast those who are in the front of the stage.
Now, you've got Matt Rife that does nothing but crowd work. You've got Nate Jackson. It's a new trend, and it's working. And like I said, we're dealing with newer type of audiences. Back then, people didn't want the attention. That's why nobody wanted to sit in the front row. Now everybody wants the attention.
They want the
Everybody wants their
attention.
5 minutes of fame. They fighting
Mhm.
over the front row. They in the front row doing crazy crap to get your attention.
So right,
Um,
so they can trend.
so we're in a
They can
different
trend.
era. We're in a different
Right,
era. You know,
right.
it's a different era of comedies. Traditional stand-up, some feel is a dying breed. I don't think so, because there are people out there that still, love it and
Right.
want it.
I
But
think
you have to be more versed in that. You have to be able to do. I saw he made the comment about Shula King. Yeah, you're right. Shula King was a comic, but he did the reaction videos, and now he's super famous. Same with Ryan Davis. Ryan Davis
mhm,
was a comedian, a very dang good comedian. But when he started doing those reaction videos, honey, and talk about people, he
mhm.
blew up. You just got to find a niche on social
Gotta
media.
find your niche.
Social media is the new funnel to Hollywood now.
Uh-huh.
It ain't
Right,
it ain't about talent on a stage anymore, unfortunately. It's
right,
it's
right.
basically how relevant can you be, and how many commas can you have above your name on a picture.
Mm,
So it's like that's what you have to find your niche in
right.
a sense. And that it helps. But it's funny how, I talked to Ryan, and Ryan's like, dang, people don't know I used to be, I'm really a comic. I'm not just some social media. I said, because baby,
Mhm.
that's all they care about.
Right.
They'll come see you, and then they'll be like, "Oh, he funny for real, for real. He been doing this joke for 15."
For
but
15 years.
but
Right,
but
exactly.
we're dealing with audiences now who've never seen Def Jam, who've never
Mhm.
seen Comic View, who've never seen Showtime at the Apollo. You
We
know what I'm
need to
saying?
hold
That's never
that.
seen First Amendment, Martin Lawrence's First Amendment. That's never
Yeah.
seen any of these comedy shows that made a lot of us relevant,
Mhm.
and kept us in the game for so long. All they know is social media and wilding out. That's it.
Right,
That's all they
right.
know. So you got to find somewhere to fit in there.
In between the mix. What actor or comedian have you not worked with, or you really have a desire to either work with on screen or stand up?
Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence?
Martin Lawrence.
Really?
I don't know what I would love to work with Martin. I would
Yes.
love to work with Martin. Yeah.
I love Martin too.
I
I
would
love
love to work with Martin. Yeah. I mean, Martin, of course. I would love to do something with Mark Curry. I would love to do something with Bill Bellamy. You
hmm.
know, um, you know, I would love to do something with Cat Williams.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I would love to do something with Wanda Sykes.
Oh, I love Ron
I
Sykes.
would
Yes.
love to do something with Wanda. And it's funny because we're both from the same hometown,
Mm-hmm.
in
Yep.
Virginia, but I
Yeah.
would love to do something with Wanda. There's people out there I would love to work with, but those are some of the few that I would love to work
Mm-hmm.
with, especially comedy wise. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I absolutely love, love, love that. Shout out to Timothy in the building. Um, so you recently lost your home
Yes, Lord.
in
A
Georgia.
wonderful Airbnb.
What in the world? I was like, what? What happened? But
Girl.
I actually also saw, and please correct me if it's not true, but I read that Tyler Perry actually stepped in and helped. What happened with the fire? I'm just so glad that you and no one
Me
in
and
your
my child, we
family.
got out. We were home when it happened. And
Uh-huh.
all I know is that if anybody ever brings a candle in my house, I'm liable to fight you.
What?
It was a candle.
It was a candle?
Mhm. I don't know what happened, but I really can't talk a lot about it because there's legal stuff going on right now.
Right.
But it was a candle, and whatever it did, it lit my room on fire and burned my house down to the ground. Me and my child lost virtually everything. But luckily, we have our lives, so our dogs have our lives. And yes,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to TP, Tyler Perry. There will be no Tyler Perry slander for the rest of my life. I will shoot you. That man, that
Talk
man,
about TV.
look, this Airbnb, courtesy of TP. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
And he also paid off my old house so I can move on. So
Wow.
he's been a godsend.
Mm-hmm.
I would have never thought to call him and ask him for a thing. I would have never thought to call him. But as soon as he found out 2 days after it happened. And he
Right.
called me and literally swooped down like a straight superhero and
Mm-hmm.
just really helped me and my son. But he wasn't the only one. You know, so
Yeah.
many people came to my aid. I mean, Marlon Wayans, Kim Whitley, Sherry Shepard,
So
Tammy
good.
Roman, Columbus Short,
Mhm.
God, Lil Rel, Dion Cole, Lonnie Love. I could just go down the list
Wow.
of the love that, you know, it's still just, I was already a humble human being, but that just
Mhm.
really humbled me that, you know, people cared about me that much. You know, it's like, wow,
Absolutely.
wow, wow.
Absolutely. Shouts out to them. And again, prayers to you and your
Thank
son.
you.
Thank God. Thank God.
Moving. Thank you. I so shifted it on your show. Yes, I did.
But sometimes it requires a
You
shift,
guys,
honey.
I don't care. I'm grown. I have walked through fire.
Be you, whatever it takes.
I'm
How you
happy I
come
got
on
some of these back. Thank you.
here. Right.
I lost all of my hair. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Now, of course, you use your life stories and experiences in your stand-up.
Yeah,
That's actually
absolutely. I have to.
um
I always say I love Kevin, but he ain't got the pat on laughing at my pain, child.
right. So your stand-up show that you recently did on now is it streaming on Prime? It's streaming on
It is
Prime.
everywhere but
It's
Netflix.
everywhere. You can get it wherever you watch your
Yeah, it's
your favorite
everywhere
shows.
but Netflix. So if you watch Hulu, it's there. Amazon Prime,
Uh-huh.
it's there. YouTube TV, it's there. Apple TV, it's there. It's everywhere
Famous enough. That's
but
right.
Netflix.
So and you use a lot of the material from life. Do you have
Yeah,
family members
yeah,
that
because
like
that
don't
was
talk
that
about
that
me?
was shot. That was shot. That was shot like God, 3 years ago, almost four
Hmm.
years ago.
Right.
So a lot has changed in my life since then, and I'm actually
Hmm.
getting ready to shoot my new special, um, Through the Fire, and it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be something like you've never seen from me, but
Hmm.
but when I tell you, I'm taking off. I'm taking off the veil. Like it's going to be full. Like you're going to get to see both sides of me. Put it that way.
Hmm. Hmm. Do you have family members that's like don't talk about me? Don't get up to tell my
No, because I would never disrespect anybody. I mean,
Mhm.
don't get me wrong. I do talk about this one aunt that I don't know. I think she
I think
lives truly because Satan fuels her blood. I feel Satan. Satan fuels her, but
so
it ain't nobody gonna say nothing if I talk about it because everybody feels the same way. But
uh-huh. Oh
you
my
know, we truly believe she is definitely. But yeah, if anybody's going to be in Baltimore this weekend, I'm actually
yes.
shooting pieces of that special this weekend in Baltimore at the Baltimore Comedy Factory. So come out and come watch some magic
Absolutely.
happen.
Absolutely. And what other shows do you have coming up as well? You're on the comedy circuit, of course. You're out there. You
Yes,
got in touch
yes.
the people. So where are you? Besides, you said Boston. Where else are you going to be? So we can get there.
No, I'm Baltimore Comedy
Baltimore.
Factory this weekend. The following weekend, I'm at the Punchline in God, it's right outside of Detroit. And I don't know why I can't think of the city right now, but it's right outside of Detroit. It's called the Punchline. I'll be
Mhm.
there the weekend after that. The weekend after that, I'll be at the Uptown Comedy Corner in Atlanta, Georgia. Yep.
That's
The
right.
weekend after that, I'll be the weekend after that. I know I'll be at Tommy T's in Pleasanton, California.
Okay.
And also I will be I'm forgetting something. Oh, if you guys are in Phoenix, Arizona, the end of August, I'll be hosting the annual Black Rodeo. I'm
Ah,
so excited about that. I'm taking my kid with me,
that's
so
nice.
I'll have on my cowboy boots,
I was
honey, in
gonna
the
say you're
back.
gonna have on your cowboy
I'm
gear
gonna have on
and
my cowboy
and
boots, child. I done went and got me,
syrups
I
and
got me some boots, child.
right. Oh, that's gonna be nice. And I definitely got to come check you out when you're in the ATL. Definitely
Yes,
have to
yes.
come check you out.
End of this month.
What about TV projects? Because I'm just 911 is my one of my favorite
Thank
shows, and of course
you.
I
Well,
love
thank you, honey.
it.
Watch the reruns because Mama ain't on there no more.
I watch it. I
It's
watch the
sad. I'm
reruns.
seeing
I
it
watch
though, but when they
yes.
moved to ABC, they didn't take me with them.
That's okay. But what's next? Because you booked and busy.
Yeah. It says right now I've been doing more films than anything.
Yes.
I have a film coming out called Twisted Hearts that I'm starring in. I have another movie coming out called Ruby's Diamonds, Confessions of a Plus Size Diva. Really good. And that movie is very dark. Like, you guys are going to see Coca Brown in a way y'all have never seen me. I play an abused wife. It's something I've always wanted to play, like really get into something dark. It's an awesome film. I'm super excited. Shout out to Sylvia Wilson who wrote it. It's based on her life. It's beautiful. Also, oh my gosh. Of course, you guys can see me in the Country Wayne Skits' Cousin CoCoa with Anthony and Amber. I just shot a bunch of those Monday. So I'm constantly doing those. Thank God. I know I'm missing something. Yeah. So I'm doing a lot more films than anything right now.
That's awesome.
I haven't done any TV stuff in a minute. A lot of film.
So if everyone wants to stay connected to you, what is your social media handle so they can plug in with you? Or how can they see your schedule if you have your schedule coming up?
They can always go right to my website, which is Coca Brown, 4life.com. That's Coca Brown, 4life.com. Everything is there. Everything Coca, from you can buy, merchandise like T-shirts and baseball hats and my minty toes and edibles, because I have all kinds of businesses.
Wait a minute, not Coca. Don't go past that so fast. Wait, did you say edibles?
I do, and I do two kinds. I do a clean and a dirty.
Oh, so you're selling snipes. So okay, so
it's called Coca's Cravables. You can go to cocascravables.com and check it out. Okay. I have clean and dirty products. I do everything from made to order. I do muffins and cookies and pound cakes and butters and cooking oils and tinctures. But then I also have gummies and candies and I like I said, I do clean and dirty. So it depends on what your flavor is. Do you get tested at your job or do you not get tested at your job? Yes.
That's the level of what the potency of what you need.
Exactly. I'm not trying to get anybody fired. I'm trying to get anybody fired. Nobody fired. I don't want to get anybody fired, baby.
Absolutely love it. Where are you going to be? What is your goal for the next 5-10 years? Where are you going to be? What you going to be doing?
Producing, directing, writing.
You will. Absolutely.
Yeah.
CoCoa Brown, you all, I hope that you were able to get and receive everything that she poured out to us tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, baby, for having me. Thank y'all so much for having me. And next time I'm gonna glue this damn thing on. Girl, I was out. I was mama mode. I had a baseball cap on. I had to look cute. Wait, okay.
You look good, girl. You look good. I look forward to seeing you in Atlanta.
Please do. Please come through, girl. Please, everybody. And if you've seen me on a DiDi Skky show, please welcome to me. I'm not that type of celebrity. I'll be at the end of the show at my table. Tell me you saw me on DiDi Skky. Tell me how you liked the interview. Let's shout out DiDi Skky. I'm all about, supporting my sisters, man.
Oh, yes. Love it. Love you so much. And you know what? Everything that you desire, you will have, of course. That's right. So I certainly believe that you are definitely an inspiration to so many. And, you do definitely have fans and those like myself who watch and love you and are inspired by everything that you do. So keep doing it.
And to all the people that have supported me through this ordeal, not just the celebrities, I mean, just the regular people I've met in Walmart, Kroger, the airport.
Yes.
Thank you. I know some of you, I'm sure you gave me almost maybe some of your last. I am grateful, so grateful. And just know that I'm paying it forward.
That's right. All right. Thank you again for joining us tonight. Y'all give it up for CoCoa Brown in the building. Wow. Are your cheeks hurt like mine just from laughing and smiling so much? Oh my goodness, what an amazing show. Again, I am humbled and honored to have the legendary, because she is a legend. She is absolutely anybody who has paved their way and came through the ranks and went through the fire, the haze of it all, is definitely a legend in my book. So shouts out to CoCoa Brown for joining us tonight. Make sure that you follow her on all of her social media platforms. Go out and check out her comedy, her stand-up comedy shows. I'm definitely going to do so. And of course, watch all of her movies and her shows. So glad that you guys were with me tonight. Of course, as I always say, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Don't want to miss anything, any of our bonus shows. We want to make sure that you are engaged, entertained, and enlightened. And also, if you don't have an opportunity to watch the show, you can always listen on your favorite streaming platform. That's right. We are right there. Apple Music, iHeartMusic, Odyssey, Spotify, whichever one that you listen to, we are there as well. So as I say, you guys, again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Before I go, you know what I say. Go for your goals, reach for the stars, because the sky has no limit. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.